Hey everyone, today we are diving into one of the single most important skills you can master for the modern web. We're talking about how to take a slow, clunky website and turn it into one of those lightning fast experiences that users absolutely love. And we're going to do it by mastering image optimization in Next.js. So, why are we so focused on this one thing? Well, look at this number. When you get your images right, you can slash your total page weight by 40 to 80%. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. That's not some tiny little tweak. That's a total game changer for performance. The stakes here are incredibly high. Okay, so the official definition here sounds a bit academic, right? Let's just break it down into plain English. What we really want is to get the smallest, best-looking image to the right device and to do it without the page jumping all over the place as it loads. The goal is super simple: make the user's experience feel instant and smooth. That's it. So, how do we actually pull this off? Well, the good news is Next.js hands us an incredibly powerful tool that does most of the heavy lifting for us. Let's get into it. It's time to meet the next/image component. I mean, just look at this list. This component is basically like having a whole team of performance engineers working for you for free. It automatically handles responsive resizing. It lazy loads images that are off screen so you're not wasting bandwidth. It converts your images to super modern formats, and it even prevents those horrible layout shifts. And the best part? You get all of this right out of the box. All right, so the tool is amazing. It's automatic. But true mastery comes from knowing how to wield that tool. These are the pro moves, the things that separate a good website from a truly great one. And this slide just perfectly shows the difference between a site that feels broken and one that feels professional. You know that feeling, right? You try to tap a button and bam, an image loads in and pushes it down the page. That's called cumulative layout shift, or CLS, and it's super frustrating. The fix, though, is simple and it's non-negotiable. You have to provide width and height props. It tells the browser, hey, save a spot right here for this image, which makes the page load in a stable, smooth way. Okay, next up is the priority prop. Now this one is important, so listen up. Think of this as your red alert, load this right now signal to Next.js. But you have to use it with extreme care. This is only for your main hero image, the very first, most important thing the user sees. If you use it on more than one image, you're basically telling the browser that everything is a priority, which means nothing is. Seriously, overusing this will just kill your performance. This quote right here, it just hits the nail on the head. This is, without a doubt, the most common and costly mistake you see out in the wild. You're making someone on a tiny phone download a gigantic image meant for a huge desktop monitor, only for their little phone to shrink it down. It's a massive waste of their data and their time. So how do we fix that problem? Well, the solution is the sizes prop. This is how you give the browser a hint. You're saying, look, on small screens, this image is going to take up the full width, but on bigger screens, it's only going to take up about half. By getting it this information, you allow Next.js to be super smart and serve the perfect, optimized, smaller image file to the mobile user. This saves a ton of data and makes everything load way faster. Now here's a fantastic little trick that's all about perception. By just adding placeholder equals blur, you tell Next.js to show a tiny blurred out version of the image while the real one loads. So instead of staring at a big, empty white box, the user sees a nice placeholder. It makes the site feel faster, which is sometimes just as important as it being actually faster. It's a tiny change for a massive win. Okay, so we've got a handle on the component itself, but building a truly optimized website means you have to think strategically before you even write a single line of code. Let's zoom out a bit and look at some broader best practices. Even though Next.js can convert formats for you, it helps to start with the right one. The way I think about it is this. AVEF is the new king. It gives you the best quality for the smallest possible file size. WebP is your super reliable workhorse. It's got great balance. JPEG is your universal fallback for photos. And PNG, you should really only use that when you absolutely need a transparent background. And remember, optimization doesn't start in your code editor. It starts before you even upload the file. You should always run your images through a tool like Scoosh or TinyPNG first, strip out all the extra metadata you don't need, and, most importantly, resize them. If the biggest that image will ever be on your site is, say, 500 pixels wide, then please don't upload a 4K version. Sometimes the best, most optimized image is no image at all. For things like simple UI buttons, icons, or background patterns, you can often get a better result with just code. CSS and SVGs are tiny, they scale perfectly to any size without losing quality, and you can animate them. They're just way more flexible and performant than a static raster image. Okay, here's a pro tip that almost feels like a cheat code. Instead of just putting the path to your image in a string, import it like it's a JavaScript module. When you do this, Next.js can analyze the image when you build your site. That means it can automatically figure out the width and height for you, and it can even generate that cool blur placeholder automatically. It's such a tiny change in your code for a huge optimization win. So we've gone through the component, the strategies, the little pro tips. Now let's wrap this all up into one simple framework we can all remember: the optimization mindset. So here's the crucial takeaway. Every single decision you make about images should be aiming for these 6 goals. You want the smallest file in the best format at the right size. You want to lazy load what's not on screen, never cause layout shift, and serve it all from a super fast CDN. Next.js gives you the tools for all of this, but it's our job as developers to put it all together with this mindset. And last but not least, please, don't just guess that your site is fast. You have to test it. Fire up Lighthouse in your browser, dive into the Network tab in your DevTools, check the Next.js build output after you run a build. These tools don't lie. They'll show you exactly how big your images are and where you can still improve. You have to measure your success. So I'll just leave you with this one question. It's one thing to build a site that feels, okay. It's another thing entirely to apply these principles and achieve a level of performance that really stands out from the crowd. So ask yourself, is your site just fast? Or is it Next.js fast? If you apply what we talked about today, you'll know the answer.